What is up, Misfits and Moonbasers? It's your boy Ray Recall coming at you with another video review, and today we're going to be continuing a look at the Studio Series with the Transformers Studio Series Bumblebee movie Dropkick. Now, this is the muscle car version of Dropkick. I don't personally own the helicopter version. I got this. I'm held out for this one because I think it just looks much better, and it looks like in hand it's a very nice figure. I really like this figure. Plus it also goes with the Shatter that I have, and if you want to see the vehicle mode comparison, you can go to that video. The link will be in the description. Yeah, I just really like this version of Dropkick. I do apologize again for the video quality. The lighting isn't the best, but it's what I have to work with. So, yeah. So, just to kind of get into the vehicle mode here, some things that separate Dropkick from Shatter thematically are obviously the red color scheme as opposed to, or the blue color scheme as opposed to the red. He does have tampographed skull and crossbones over there, which is pretty neat. 13 as opposed to the 722, just generic racing stuff. It doesn't have all the extra bells and whistles like the roll cage and the light bar that Shatter had. Pretty downplayed, if anything, aside from the color scheme and the souped up engine intake. And as you can see, it has a much cleaner underside. I mean, you can still see some things here and there. You can see that these are obviously going to be arms, feet, a little bit of visible head syndrome, but the profile is much cleaner than Shatter's was. And I do appreciate that a little bit. Yeah. And of course, it rolls very nicely. Now, one thing about the weapons that's a little bit different from Shatter is that for Shatter, the weapons stored under the vehicle. For Dropkick, there is a gap here, but try as I might, I have not been able to figure out a way to get the gun to stay in there solidly without it like falling out or rattling around or whatever. There's nothing in the instructions about putting it down there, and if you can figure that out, then you're awesome, and please let me know because I would love to be able to have that just under there. Otherwise, the way that you are supposed to store the gun, which, let's go ahead and take a quick look at that here right now. Might as well, since we have it in hand. Really nice looking gun. The it's kind of hard to see in there, but there is some turbine detail. It's just cast in solid black plastic, but it's pretty nice. Now, oops, where'd it go? There we go. As you can see right here, there's that little gap that is designed to tab onto the back of the bumper. And just kind of sits on there, like so. And that's the weapon storage, which is cool if you're trying to hide looking like the Batmobile. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it would just be nice if the weapon integrated a little bit more, because sometimes this does have a tendency to just pop off, especially if it's in storage, which when I was getting this guy out of storage, I could not find the gun for it. But yeah, overall, that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. It looks good, scales well with Shatter, which again you can see in the Shatter review that I already posted. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. So let's go right ahead into transformation now. For this guy, as I mentioned in the Shatter review, there wasn't really much of a transformation for Shatter. It's just kind of like introducing chaos and then fixing the chaos, is I believe the words I use. You basically just pull everything apart and then push it back together. This actually has a much more involved transformation. I do appreciate that a lot more, especially considering how parts don't just fall off. I really appreciate that about this guy. So, first thing you want to do is untab the doors. They just open up like that. And already, this is a step above because there are tabs on the inside of the door. There's a clear tab right here, some clear tabs right there along the bottom, and they'll just kind of go into spots, you know, like right into the side of the leg and down here. That just helps hold everything together a little bit more secure. Already, I'm loving this figure. Take the arms and just kind of drop them down like so. And as you can see, the arms have a lot more involved transformation to them as well. Coming to the back, now by the way, I don't know if you can see this, but whenever you're closing these doors up, it kind of is a little bit difficult for these panels right here to line up. What you're going to do is, they do extend out, is close the door first, make sure those panels meet, and then push it into place. That's how I found that helps. So, but we're going to robot mode, so you're going to undo these panels. They are on sliders, so you just kind of pull them out. And then you're going to want to take the back of the vehicle mode and just lift this all up and away. And as you can see on the back of the legs, there's little tabs that will go into little slots up near the roof. Again, loving that fact that things tab together very securely on this figure. I don't know if you could see it before, but there is a hinge that's going to drop down. And it is a double hinge. And you just kind of leave that hanging there for now. Come to these panels right here. As you can see, they're already kind of starting to be pushed down. And then you just kind of drop that section and pull it away. And you can start seeing how everything is just kind of on multiple hinges here. Going from robot mode to vehicle mode, it's a little bit tricky getting everything together the first time, but the more times you do it, it's very intuitive and you pick up on these things real quickly. So, and you just want to have everything hanging like that. So, as you can see, there's basically 1, 2, 3 main parts to the transformation, and they're all hinged together. So let's go ahead and get started with the legs, then we'll work to the body, and then go up to the head, and then everything will just kind of come together. So we'll start with the legs. So as you can see, pretty simple. You're just going to take these panels down here, that'll become the feet, and they are on a double hinge right here. And so we'll just take a quick look at that again. They were flush, come all the way back, and then this will rest, and that's how you want it oriented in robot mode. This panel right here will come to the back, and you'll know it's aligned properly. Whenever you push it in, it'll just gently throop in, and then take this panel, hinge it, and there you have a leg all done. That is a very clean leg as opposed to shatter. Again, I'm glad that they did this. Do the same thing on the other side. Come to the back, it just thoops into place. Push that back. There you go. You have the legs all done. Also, the legs were like this, oriented in vehicle mode. Just bring them down, down, and bring this panel forward. And now you have the lower section ready for transformation. Coming to the top, you're going to want to take these panels, lift them up. And then on the back, you want to take these panels and slide them back, like so. There you have that. And then you're going to want to play with these hinges a little bit. And this, I don't know how well you can see it, but this little clip will go into a gap right back here. And whenever you have everything aligned, it will clip into place. There you go. And you just want to have these out to the sides like that. Again, coming to the back, you can see where these panels were folded in against the back. That's very clean, and whenever we get to the full full transform mode, you'll see that it creates a much cleaner backpack, like that. So coming to the top real quick, I'm going to want to unpeg the windshield from the front, take the head section, or the engine block, and then just rotate it around. That'll give you the head. Again, working with these joints and stuff back here, you're going to want to bring this down. Actually, wait. You want to take this panel, bring it up. It'll just peg in. These tabs will peg into the chest. It'll peg in securely like that. And then you want to take the chest, or the upper vehicle front, and there are little tabs. I don't know how well you can see that underneath the bumper. That'll go into little slots right here. And then you just kind of push everything back until it's in place. Coming to the sides, you want to bring up these wheel wells. They'll fit right into those little gaps. Bring the arms down. And then you want to take these panels, and that'll cause the arm to collapse, and then just flip out the hand the rest of the way. And there you have that. We're almost done. We just got to take the backpack, and it will collapse once, twice, 3 times. And that is a very, very clean backpack right there. I love this right here. And then you can even take the wings and angle them back a little bit. And here you have the Dropkick, muscle car Dropkick in his robot mode. Oh my god, this is leaps and bounds better than Shatter's muscle car robot mode. Very solid. None of the joints or limbs feel like they're about to pop off. The ankles are still a little bit weak, but way better in structural stability than Shatter's. Backpack, way better, much more condensed. It's very clean transformation. The steps to get there were very nice. I'm just loving Dropkick's robot mode. And just as a quick comparison here he is with said Shatter. And I know it's not really doing it justice on camera, but Dropkick is actually a little bit taller at the head than Shatter. I got to play with these angles a little bit, but he is actually taller. So I don't know if you remember from the Shatter review, his vehicle mode is actually smaller than hers, and I think I can see where all of that vehicle mode went. Like, it's just leaps and bounds better. Let's go ahead and get a good look at that head sculpt. Loving the head sculpt on Dropkick. If my camera will zoom in. Very, very cleanly done. Nice painted red eyes in there. I know you're having trouble seeing them. Articulation, head is on a ball joint, although it is a little bit more limited than Shatter's. You can look down, can look forward. Head can do a full 360. Arms are on a ball joint. They can do a full 360, go out about that far. There is a bicep rotation at the elbow, about a little over 90 degrees bend. Wrists don't really move except for inward, but we'll get into the reason why for that in just a moment. Nothing at the waist. Legs can go forward about that far, back that far, which is real nice. Much wider stance. You do have a bit of a thigh rotation. It's on a mushroom peg right there, so you get a little bit of thigh rotation. Nice deep knee bend, and even a little bit forward, but the knees are supposed to, that's how the knees are supposed to look, straight. And you get a toe bend and a forward pivot, but that's more for transformation, so. But if you can use it, hey, more power to you. So that's where we're at with articulation. I hope that was in focus the whole time, because I'm not going to go back and refill it. Yeah, and then as for accessories, he does have the gun. You basically just fold in the forearm. It works on either forearm. As you can see, there's a little tab right here and a little channel right in there, and this just tabs onto that, like so. And even though it's not a 5mm port connection, this isn't going anywhere. That gun is staying on his arm, and I love how it looks like it's just integrated into his arm. Yeah, so there's that. I'm pretty sure you can already tell my opinion on this figure. Looks good with Shatter, but that's more to that. It just makes Shatter look less of a mess, because red and blue, the reds and blues on these figures are also very nice. They're very crisp, very clean, don't seem muted in any way. But yeah, I think you can tell that I just like Dropkick's figure much better, which is a shame because I actually liked Shatter more as a character, but they clearly got their act together when designing and engineering Dropkick's figure, as opposed to just testing things out with Shatter. Now, I will say this again, like I said in the Shatter review. If we can get these figures in Voyager class size, like, I mean, this is already pretty clean. Would be very surprised if you could fix this anymore. But this, so many of the problems that this one has, some of the weak joints, fiddliness of the transformation, all this backpack crap could be fixed just by scaling it up so you would have more room to work. It's kind of like what the Wei Jing did with their version of Evasion Mode Optimus Prime. It was a good figure at a Voyager class scale, but when they upgraded it to a third party, when that third party company upgraded it to leader scale, so much more detail was able to go into it, and they were even able to fix things in the transformation that we didn't even know that it needed. This needs a Voyager class figure. This needs to be upscaled so it can fit with this. That's all. I'm just waiting for a third-party company to come and make this happen. Doesn't even need, I don't even need the triple changing gimmick, because that'll probably just create more problems than not. Just take these two characters, upscale them, and fix. Whoa, that was a big clap of thunder. Anyway, just take these figures, upscale them, and fix all the engineering problems with this. Maybe even like having a little visor lift up function or whatever. Just take my money. Take my money. But as is, for Dropkick, honestly, he is the better figure of these two. The muscle car version, the helicopter version, looked as fiddly as that Shatter figure. Yeah, I'm really glad I went in on Dropkick. He does bring out the best in Shatter, and if you have a chance to get these two figures, definitely get them together. If not, I'd personally say go with Dropkick. I mean, if you can find Shatter, they look good displayed on the shelf, but in hand, this is more of an actual play figure. This is just a prop. I might go in on the Jet Shatter, but we'll see. I got other things I gotta worry about my money about. So anyway, that pretty much wraps it up for this video. This has been the Studio Series, or the Transformers Studio Series Bumblebee movie Muscle Car Dropkick. I have been Ray Recall. Y'all have been awesome, and I look forward to seeing y'all again in the next video. So take care, stay safe during quarantine, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.